Once there lived a little girl who was 5 years old, just like you. Her name was Ruby, and she was a very creative and kind hearted little girl, often imagining ways in which she could invent things to make village life easier for herself and for her fellow community. Ruby lived in a faraway village amongst the forest, and there was one very important rule that all children had to follow who lived there. No children were allowed to be inventors, and no children were allowed to use their imagination. They only had to do their chores. How do you think that would make you feel if you couldn't use your imagination? Would you feel sad? Mayor Acorn made sure that everyone had a job to do, which in turn made the community run smoothly. Ruby knew how important this was, so she worked very hard at her job. On one particular day, Ruby was on her way into the forest with her two friends, Jude and Pascal. They actually shared the same job and they worked together as a team to water the vegetable gardens. This meant that they had to carry a really heavy bucket of water back and forth from the stream to water the vegetables, which made them very tired. Can you imagine a bucket full of water like this, carrying it back and forth 10 times? It'd be so heavy. After doing part of their chores, the children decided to take a rest against a tree. Ruby was deep in thought and very quiet, thinking to herself that she really wanted to be an inventor. She knew in her heart of hearts, that she could make a difference and that she was more than capable of inventing something to help everybody. But she knew that Mayor Acorn wouldn't allow it. Mayor Acorn's rules were so strict and that no child could be an inventor. After some time, Ruby shared an idea with Jude and Pascal, although she was hesitant to do so because she knew that the boys wanted to follow the rules. But she decided to be brave and shared her idea. You know what, boys? Imagine if we grabbed a rope, swung it around, threw it over that tree branch, and attached the bucket to the end of the rope. Then we wouldn't have to lift the heavy buckets 10 times to take them to the vegetable garden. What do you think? If we all work together, I think we can achieve this. The boys were hesitant to do this, but after some time decided to try. Ruby and Pascal carefully threw the rope over the branch and lifted the bucket up into the air over the tree branch. And Pascal gently lowered it back down again into the stream, filled it with water, and then gently leveraged it all the way to the vegetable garden. And you know what? They completed their job in half the time. Can you imagine that, having extra time to play? I'd be so happy, would you? The children didn't realise that Mayor Acorn was actually watching them from the edge of the trees. He saw what they were doing and started walking quickly towards them. His footsteps were making a swishing sound in the leaves. Swish, 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 swish. Ruby heard the sound and looked up suddenly. Mayor Acorn, Jude and Pascal, they had nothing to do with it. It was my idea. It was honestly my idea. She was so worried she didn't actually realise that Mayor Acorn had a great big smile on his face. Can you see his smile now? Mayor Acorn reassured Ruby and said, Ruby, you must accept my apology. I was wrong. I can quite clearly see that children can be inventors and they have so many ideas that they can offer everybody. Please, I'm so sorry. Do you accept my apology? Ruby, of course, accepted Mayor Acorn's apology. In fact, he declared in a booming voice for all of the villagers to hear, thanks to this child's bravery and imagination, I now declare that all children can be inventors and use their imagination. I was wrong. The villagers were overjoyed to hear this and began clapping for the children. The children were so happy, beaming with pride. Thank you for listening to my story, class. I wanted you to know that your voice matters. Your ideas, your creativity, your imagination are all important. You have so much to offer to this learning community of ours, and you can certainly do hard things. I believe in you.